Hello, this is a video to show you how to install your KS23 kit onto an Airsoft tri-shot. You will need a donor tri-shot. This is a Double Eagle brand tri-shot shotgun, which for the purposes of the kit is identical to a Crossman tri-shot. A flathead screwdriver, Phillips head screwdriver, and an Allen key set, metric, and some kind of cutting implement. I have used a multi-tool. You can use a Dremel, hacksaw, really whatever. The only cuts needed for this are not very precise. So, first things first, to install the pistol grip, what you do is, you will notice on the back of your tri-shot, there is a hole here that pretty much is the only thing holding this pistol grip where it is. Take your Allen key set, get it in there, unscrew that, and the whole thing should pop right off. Hold on to this screw, you will need it. And to install the KS23 pistol grip, you literally just put it right back on, put the screw in this hole here on the back of the pistol grip, screw it back in. So when installing your pistol grip, there is a bit of difference between the Double Eagle brand tri-shot and the CYMA brand tri-shot in regards to this little back end here where the pistol grip attaches. Most noticeably in this little tail end here. This tail is much longer on the CYMA brand tri-shot than it is on the Double Eagle. To kind of illustrate that, I have a little test piece that represents a portion of the pistol grip. Fits perfectly flush, a little bit inwards on the Double Eagle brand, and on the CYMA it'll stick out a good bit. So all you need to do is trim that down by about ½ an inch. It's fine if it's a little bit shorter, a little longer, and your grip won't fit. So you can cut that down with a Dremel, hacksaw, doesn't really matter. It doesn't need to be super precise. It just needs to be a little under ½ an inch. Now that you've installed the grip, the next is the pump. So you don't need the Allen head screwdriver anymore for that. All you really need at this point are Phillips head and flathead screwdriver. So you will notice on the bottom of the pump there are 2 Phillips head screws. Those are a little bit coarse, so instead of using this one, I'm going to use a different Phillips head on my multi-tool to undo those. Set those aside. You will need them later, and you don't want to lose those. Once you've got those set aside, the pump is held together in 2 halves, a left half and a right half, oriented as if you were holding it. This is the right half, this is the left half. To take it apart after you've taken out these 2 screws, you just kind of split it apart because it's held together just kind of by snap fits. So you'll use the flathead to kind of wedge them apart down a seam line in the middle is the easiest way I've found to do it. Now it's important to note before you do this that the 2 halves are not exactly symmetrical. There is a follow-up step that makes it important that you disassemble the right side, which is this side here, first, and then you get to do the other half. And I'll show why that is in a second. So you get your flathead or other wedge tool choice, once you've got that split off, should be able to take it apart. Now the left half is still on, and the reason for that is that in between these two screws here is an additional hole, or an additional screw that normally goes in that middle hole. I've already undone it because I've been taking this apart and disassembling it several times, so I just left that screw out. But your brand new shotgun will have a Phillips head screwdriver, or Phillips head screw in there. Take only that middle one out, because that middle one is the screw that is screwed into this half of the pump, and that is holding it on to the gun. Everything else, do not touch the other screws. Only this middle one here. Once that's out, just pops right off. And now that you've removed the old pump, you are ready to install the KS23 pump. For this step, all you really need is a crude cutting tool and a little bit of super glue. So, or some other adhesive of your choice, JB Weld or whatever. So, shotgun pump will likely come in 2 halves. And if it's not, put it into 2 halves, because that's how you're going to need to assemble it. You've got kind of the fat back end and the skinny front end. Skinny front end, you'll notice, has this kind of rectangular cut in on the front end. That end faces towards the barrel. It aligns with these kind of little butting out pieces on the pump arm here. So, simply align that, push it in, and should snap into place. It's a snap fit, it's on nice and tight, not going to fall off. Should fit pretty flush with this bottom arm here. That's how you know it's in a good spot. Once you've done that, you are ready to install the back end. Now, before you do that, if you're using a CYMA brand tri-shot, or a double eagle for that matter, they'll have this little button here. It protrudes a little bit on the double eagle brand. You'll need to shave it down a little bit because it makes it a pain in the butt to try and install the pump end here. On the CYMA brand tri-shot, it sticks out really tall and it completely prevents you from installing it. It's a big pain in the butt, so just cut that off. It's completely non-functional. It's just a solid piece of plastic that contributes nothing to the gun's function overall. So, to install the back end, what you do is you'll notice there are these aligning ridges that go along the sides of the shotgun here. You align those ridges with these ridges that go, or these little cutouts on the inside of the pump, like so. And then once you've aligned them, should kind of slide in forward. Once you've done that, simply try to align the holes on the front of the shotgun with the little tabs that stick out on the front of the pump and slide it forward. You might need to move it around a little bit as needed, and should be really solid in there. If you want, I recommend putting a little bit of super glue in those crevices before you stick the plastic tabs of the front end in. It'll help the whole thing hold together pretty tight. Because otherwise, the only things holding it in place are the snap fits from the front and the little screws from earlier that went on the bottom of the old pump. Simply install them on the new pump to finish the process. There we go. Once you've done that, the screws are in the pump, screws in the back, and your shotgun is ready to go.